Sometimes love isn't just between two hearts. It's when a family chooses to open theirs to you. In today's story, Toan brings Diem home to meet his mother for the very first time. What begins as a nervous visit soon turns into a deeply emotional encounter when Toan's mother reveals a precious heirloom, a golden necklace passed down through generations. This heartfelt moment symbolizes not only acceptance, but the bond of true family and everlasting love. It was a quiet afternoon bathed in the golden hue of the setting sun when Toan gently took Diem's hand, his eyes soft with warmth. "Mom wants to see you," he said with a small smile. "She has something special she wants to give you herself." His tone carried both tenderness and meaning, and Diem felt her heart skip a beat. She had met many people in Toan's life, but the thought of meeting his mother, the woman who raised the man she loved, filled her with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. As they drove along the countryside road toward his family home, Diem kept glancing at her reflection in the car window, adjusting her hair, smoothing her pale blue dress, and wondering if she looked presentable enough. Toan noticed her every small movement and chuckled softly. "You don't have to be nervous," he said, still keeping one hand on the steering wheel and the other lightly resting on hers. "Just be yourself, Diem. That's exactly what Mom will love about you." His words, simple but sincere, managed to calm the whirlwind in her chest. She turned to him and smiled faintly, her eyes glistening with affection. I want to make a good impression," she admitted quietly. "I know how much she means to you." Toan squeezed her hand gently. "And you mean just as much to me," he whispered, the sunlight brushing across his face like a soft promise. As the car turned onto the small path lined with blooming bougainvillea, Diem could already see the familiar wooden gate that Toan had often described. The air was filled with the scent of jasmine and warm memories. It felt like a place where kindness lived. Her heart beat faster with every step closer to that gate. In her mind, she imagined Toan's mother, gentle, maybe a little strict, perhaps reserved, but with eyes that spoke of wisdom and care. She remembered Toan once saying his mother treasured family more than anything, that she had always wanted to see him find someone who could bring peace to his restless heart. When they finally arrived, Toan parked the car and came around to open her door. "Ready?" he asked, offering his hand. Diem nodded, inhaling deeply. "As ready as I'll ever be," she said with a nervous laugh. Together, they walked toward the entrance, where the soft sound of wind chimes danced in the air. Somewhere deep inside, Diem felt something shift, a sense that this day would become one of the most meaningful memories in her life. She wasn't just meeting Toan's mother, she was stepping closer to becoming a part of his world, a part of his family. And though she didn't yet know what gift awaited her, she could already feel that it wasn't the object itself that mattered. It was the love, trust, and acceptance behind it. As they stepped through the gate, Zim immediately felt the calm warmth of the place, the scent of lemongrass from the garden, the faint rustle of wind through the bamboo grove, and the gentle creak of the old wooden door ahead. Toan's mother was already standing there, waiting. She looked exactly as Zim had imagined, graceful, dignified, with kind eyes that carried both strength and tenderness. When her gaze met Zim's, the older woman smiled, a smile that felt like sunlight after rain. "You must be Zim," she said softly, her voice calm yet full of emotion. "I've heard so much about you from Toan." Zim bowed her head slightly, her cheeks flushed with both shyness and gratitude. "It's an honor to finally meet you, ma'am," she replied gently. "Toan always speaks of you with so much love." The woman's expression softened even more at that, and she gestured toward the living room. "Come in, dear. I've prepared some tea." Toan quietly followed, his hand resting lightly on Zim's back as if to reassure her that everything would be fine. The living room was filled with memories, framed photographs, an old clock that ticked steadily, a vase of fresh chrysanthemums on the table. Everything seemed to breathe warmth and belonging. Once they were seated, Tuan's mother poured the tea herself. The aroma of jasmine filled the air as steam curled gently from the porcelain cups. "I've wanted to meet you for some time now," she began, looking at Zim with sincerity. "When Toan talks about you, there's a light in his eyes that I haven't seen in years. You've brought something good into his life, something calm, something kind." Her words made Zim's heart swell with emotion. She didn't know what to say, so she simply smiled, her eyes glistening. "He's given me that same light," she replied softly. The older woman nodded, clearly touched, then reached for a small wooden box on the nearby cabinet. It was beautifully carved, its edges worn smooth by time. Placing it carefully on the table, she said, "There's something I've been keeping for many years. It belonged to my mother, Tuan's grandmother. I always knew I'd pass it down to the one who would become part of this family, to someone who would cherish it, not because of its value, but because of its meaning." She opened the box slowly, revealing a delicate golden necklace. Though the metal had lost a bit of its shine, the craftsmanship was exquisite, a small pendant shaped like a lotus flower, symbolizing purity and enduring love. The sight of it made Zim's breath catch. She could feel the weight of its history, the love and generations it carried. Tuan's mother smiled and motioned her to come closer. "May I?" she asked gently, lifting the necklace from its box. Zim nodded, unable to speak. As the cool metal brushed against her skin, she felt an unexpected warmth bloom in her chest, a quiet acknowledgement, a welcome not spoken in words, but felt in the heart. When Toan looked at her, pride and affection shone in his eyes. At that moment, Zim realized she wasn't just a guest anymore. She had been accepted, not only by Toan, but by the family that had shaped him. The necklace rested gently against Yem's collarbone, its faint shimmer catching the light like a silent blessing. Tuan's mother's hands lingered for a moment, as though she were entrusting not just an heirloom, but a legacy of love and faith. "This necklace," she said softly, her voice trembling with emotion, "was my mother's most precious belonging. She wore it on her wedding day, and before she passed, she asked me to keep it safe. I promised her I would give it to the woman who truly loves my son, someone who will walk beside him through both sunshine and storm." Diem felt her eyes fill with tears, her heart swelling with gratitude so deep it almost hurt. "I don't know if I deserve something this meaningful," she whispered, her voice breaking. "You do," Tuan's mother replied firmly, smiling through the mist in her eyes. "Because love isn't measured by perfection, my dear. It's measured by kindness, by understanding, by the way you hold each other's hearts." Her words wrapped around Diem like a gentle embrace. She could feel the sincerity behind every syllable, the kind of wisdom that only a mother's heart could carry. Toan stood silently beside them, his eyes glistening with emotion. He had seen his mother strong through every hardship, yet at that moment, her tenderness brought a lump to his throat. Watching Diem kneel slightly to thank his mother, seeing the tears on both their faces, it filled him with a quiet certainty. This was what home truly meant. Not walls or a roof, but the bond of people who chose to love and protect one another. "Thank you," Diem said, her voice trembling yet full of warmth. "I will treasure this, not just as a gift, but as a promise. I'll love Toan with all that I am, and I'll do my best to be worthy of the trust you've given me. The older woman reached out, brushing a stray lock of hair from Diem's face, her smile deep and maternal. "That's all I could ever ask for," she said softly. "Take care of each other. Love is fragile, but when it's tended with care, it can last a lifetime." Outside, the afternoon sun was beginning to fade into amber light. Through the open window, the scent of jasmine drifted in, mingling with the sound of birds returning to their nests. The world felt peaceful, timeless, as if it too were bearing witness to this quiet exchange of hearts. Tuan took Diem's hand again, his thumb brushing over her skin in silent affection. His mother watched them with the look of contentment that words could never capture. In that gentle moment, Diem understood something profound. The necklace around her neck wasn't merely gold, it was a bridge between generations, between love stories past and present, between two souls destined to continue the legacy of devotion that began long before them. And as she met Tuan's eyes, full of unspoken vows, she knew this was the beginning of a new chapter, one bound by love, trust, and the blessing of family.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Lý Tu Diem Review. Rất vui vì ngày hôm nay lại gặp lại các bạn trong tập phim ngày hôm nay thì mẹ Toàn sau khi đi du lịch về đã gặp Toàn và nói với Toàn là bà muốn gặp Diễm mà có món quà rất là bí mật và muốn tặng cho Diễm. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn hãy bấm vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Đặc biệt nếu thấy video hay hấp dẫn thì hãy bấm vào nút like, share và để lại comment ở dưới video nhé. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.